re go e begela gore mahatshe a Botswana le Zambia ba saena ditumalano tsa tirisano ya diragala mo motsotsong o mme ka motso ke rata go kgabelela ka kwa Livingstone Zambia ka kwa ileng gore me ga dikgang Botswana television ke tla matha phiri o ka ko gore le re tse dikgantse o ka tlhamallo
MOU or agreement establishing the Binational Commission. So as they sign, can I kindly ask the ministers responsible for science and technology to prepare themselves for signing the next MOU? So the two ministers will sign 2 MOUs, and after that we move on to science and technology. Are we done with the BNC ministers? Oh, you're doing both. Okay, so the second MOU that the ministers are signing is the MOU on political consultations. Thank you so much, Honorable Ministers. Can I now invite the ministers responsible for science, technology, and innovation to come forward? Zambia will still be represented by our Foreign Affairs Minister. So as they sign, can I request the ministers responsible for agriculture, as well as the ministers responsible for livestock, to get ready? I am not feeling the energy in the room. Can we clap? Thank you, thank you. So the next one that we will be signing is the MOU on agriculture. Thank you so much. So that is two MOUs signed there, one on livestock and the other one on cooperation in the area of agriculture. So the two MOUs have been signed. Can I now invite the Ministers of Mines to come forward? So they are signing an MOU that has a bit of a longish title. So it's in the field of geoscience, mining, minerals, and value chain development. So Ministers of Transport, please get ready. You'll be coming up next.
Once you're done, you need to know, say, once you're done, so once you're done, you announce us.
Okay. Okay. So the next one, Ministers responsible for transport, please come through. So the ministers responsible for transport are signing a sponsorship agreement on the Mosisi-Livingstone railway line. Thank you so much. The next two agreements will be signed by ministers responsible for infrastructure. So the two ministers are signing the following. They are signing the bilateral agreement that is establishing the Kazungula Bridge Authority, and they are also signing addendum number 2 to sponsor the construction and operation of the bridge infrastructure at Kazungula. So you were clapping for yourselves, but now let's clap for the signing of the MOU. Thank you so much. So last but not the least, we have one final MOU to sign. I'm calling this the Empowerment MOU because this is where a lot of things will happen. Guidance has already been given by our heads of state. Requests have already been made for things like cement, fertilizer. So this is the MOU really that is going to help us bring everything to life in terms of trade between the two countries. May I now? Okay, as they do the sponsorship one, can I just kindly request the Director General for the Zambia Development Agency and the Director and the Chief Executive Officer for BITC to prepare to come and sign the trade agreement. So the Ministers of Commerce, please come and offer solidarity as they sign. Please come up front. So thank you so much. We will request our heads of state to take their seats. So as we come towards the end of this working visit, and in particular the MOU signing ceremony, I think it is only fitting that we ask their excellencies just to say one or two words. We will start with His Excellency, Dr. Masisi, who will give us a few remarks, and then we will end with His Excellency, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, who will give us remarks as well as close this part of the meeting. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Director of Ceremonies, and esteemed High Commissioner, extraordinary plenipotentiary, accredited at the pleasure of His Excellency President Hichilema to the Republic of Botswana. Your Excellency and honorable ministers from Zambia and from Botswana, senior officials, members of the media, as you might well have realized, we've come to the end of a very successful working visit. I dare to suggest we have earned our pay. You have earned your pay, and I'd like the media to report it as they saw it and as they felt it. The relations between Botswana and Zambia are at a level that has never been experienced before. It's our solemn duty to make sure that not only do we keep them at minimum here, but we enhance them so that by the next we meet, we are reporting progress consistent in manner and scope to the way in which we performed in the two working visits, starting with Kasane and today in Livingston. That will be at a date to be announced in the future in Botswana when we have our inaugural binational commission, which is an engagement across all sectors, co-chaired by the heads of state of the two countries. So it's my distinct pleasure, Your Excellency, to offer my deepest thanks and wish for prosperity and success, your personal good health, and the unity and success of Zambia and all its people. God bless you.
Thank you. Mr. President, Your Excellency, just to really wrap it up, to put it in some manner that underscores for us as Zambia, and on behalf of the people of Zambia, how indebted we are to you and your team. Truly, how indebted we are. And we don't want to play with words, but to say deeply, we feel warm about yourself, Your Excellency, Dr. Masisi, your leadership, your cabinet. I have seen and I like watching people, body language. I see my colleagues are very relaxed with your colleagues. It sends a clear message that you have an excellent team led by an excellent president and good people of Botswana. We in Zambia need to appreciate that. Botswana has been consistent. Let me step aside a little bit and say what others may not say. Botswana has been consistent since independence in driving progress, economic and social progress. There's a secret there. We hope through these relationships we can share in that secrecy. That secret around the secrecy. Right? You got me right. Because countries cannot have a start-stop process in development. Countries must have a trajectory of continuity, because that's what it should be, building blocks. I repeat what I said. So we admire that part, if I may say.
Thank you.
And I ask Zambians that this is a time we must do certain things right, and do them right in perpetuity. Not for 5 years, things are done properly. 10 years, another leadership comes, they reverse all those gains. So we want to learn from yourself, Your Excellency, and your team. And I would like your ministers, PSCs, public service workers, local government workers, to feel free when they interact with our people, to share in that thread. I use the expression of thread, cotton thread, because it tends to be seamless. That thread, if you know how to stitch with a needle, it's seamless. I think it's important for nations. So we in Zambia are now aspiring. The good words you gave to us, warm words, really touching words, the best way we can pay back, for example, is not to return the country to another dead mountain. Because we were there in 2006, 2007, President Manawasa's time. When we basically did the work, it was less complex than now. But we should have never been in that space again. This is what I'm talking about. Start-stop process. And that's where Botswana has a lot of value to deliver to all of us around. Others may not tell you that, but I'm telling you that.
Thank you.
So thank you for that consistency. But individuals don't carry that thread without the support of the people they work with. So your colleagues that you work with, without support of the population, which desire to see their country to continue with the upward trajectory. So I can only say to my colleagues on my side here to take these interactions seriously. There are things that you can't read in an article. There are things you can't learn in a classroom, but you learn by observation, attentively, and you incorporate them in the things that you learned at school and the things that you read about in normal day life. So I thought, Mr. President, I would reserve these words to the very last, and you have no chance to respond, is to simply express our gratitude to the successive leaderships, presidents, cabinets, public sector workers in Botswana.
Yeah.
And that we in Zambia, SADC, can pick a lot from there to add on to what little things we're doing already. So your glowing, positive words about us are embarrassing, but we shouldn't have been here. That's the message I'm saying. We shouldn't have been in a debt crisis. To assure you, because a terrible neighbor is not good for anyone, we ourselves have put control measures on ourselves. Once we took office, we've gone to Parliament to promulgate a law that no one, including us today, and in future, unless they go back to certain dirty things, can acquire debt recklessly, can basically acquire debt which is expensive, can acquire debt, number 3. So 1, recklessly, no. 2, expensive debt, no. 3, acquire debt for consumption expenditure. Any debt, any capital mobilization must be for investment expenditure, because investment expenditure will yield revenue streams that will allow you, 1, to service the facility, 2, to grow. And then we can have jobs for our people. It's a rule of thumb that we're putting in place so that you can see we are not saying we've achieved, we've gone over the hump, now we relax. 2 days ago was this big achievement. Thank you for your recognition. But the work starts now for us to make sure that we don't return to those days so that we can be a good neighbor, a partner, good partner to you, to others in the region. And I think we look forward to those days. And we're confident that with the support of the people of Zambia, we'll be able, working with you, learning from you, giving you a few things, will be better overall. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Go well. Please go well, travel well.
mothetso a re go tlisa ka tlhamallo yalo go wetswa ga loeto la semmuso kwa lehatsheng la Zambia ga Tautona Dr. Mokgweetsi Masisi. Tautona Dr. Mokgweetsi Masisi le molekane wa gagwe go tswa kwa Zambia re Hakainde Hichilema ba phaketse yalo ba tshwere dipuisano tsatsi la gompieno kwa Zambia le bontlhabongwe jwa metseletsele ya ditiro tsa loeto la malatsi mabedi la ga Tautona Masisi kwa Zambia tenko. Tautona Masisi o ka ile maitlamo a bobedi jwa mahatsi go atolosa dikgato le mesepele wa go tlhabologa ga tirisanyo mmogo mo mehameng e harologaneng go sologela molemo tswelelopele le katlego ya mahatsi o mabedi. Mo go tsadingwa mahatsi a Botswana le Zambia a ipetse selo sa go atolosa tirisanyo mmogo mo mehameng ka go harologana ya karetsa bojanala. Tautona wa Zambia re Hakainde Hichilema o kgothaditse gore go bewa monwana ditumalano ga one go diragadiwe ka tlhomamo mme se nne hela mo pampiring mme go nne le dikgato tse di lulameng tse di tla tsewang ke bobedi jwa mahatseya go kgontsha go diragatswa ga maitlamo a ba itlamileng mo tsatsing la gompieno.
We, Your Excellency, not only agreed on a number of sectoral areas in which to collaborate, we put a timeline. And the reason for this applause, because this timeline has been met, very proudly so. But the next step is to make sure that we actualize and bring to life the contents of what is in those memoranda and expand and grow the potential therein. And I'd want to encourage both teams, Your Excellency, to be as creative, as imaginative, and as bold as possible. We're going to begin by harnessing on our comparative advantages, those low-hanging fruits that we have. And clearly, in the tourism space, the fact that we're neighbors, the fact that we love each other, we agree, the fact that we are members of a number of multilateral institutions together, and least of which would be our membership to SADC, the fact that we have commodities and services that we like, that each has a competitive advantage in, should make this seamless. And we want to urge that you complete your audit of your national ID and the making comparable those features so that our people can travel and our goods will follow them much easier.
It's an asset so valuable to us, not just Botswana and Zambia, but to the region and the rest of Africa, and invariably, indirectly, the global community. We covered areas, agriculture, livestock, mining, just to mention a few, and agreed that we will meet here in Livingstone today out of the Kasane visit. And once we sign things we're going to sign today, they are not for paper and filing cabinets. They are for active utilization, implementation, which will help us deepen our cooperation. People to people, yes. Business to business, yes. Economy to economy, country to country. And invariably improve the lives of our citizens in Botswana, our citizens in Zambia. That's the story. I think it's a nice story. And we're very delighted, President Masisi, to have you and your team here.
re dikgang di emejana motlhagiso moswarela taotona Reslan Batsogwane o tlhotse a simolise sembuso lefelo la maranyane a di-drone kwa Botswana International University of Science and Technology BUST kwa Phalape. Lenaneo le le tla ka nako e maleba jaaka lefatshe leno le gatetse pele mo maitekong a go tokafatsa tiriso ya baranyane mono gae. Maranyane a di-drone a lejwa a tla nna mosola thata mo megameng ya akaretsa temothuo go lwantsha dibetso tsa tlholego go diragadiwa ga melao le boranyane jo ja go dira melemo.
The center will provide a continuous knowledge-based workforce development and a reliable talent pipeline which will produce fit-for-purpose graduates into the market. It is a standing principle to expect that universities must produce graduates that possess the right skills, the right knowledge, and the required experience for them to succeed and contribute meaningfully in the realms of both the job market and entrepreneurship. As a predominantly agricultural society, albeit at subsistence scale, the advent of drone technology has proven to be such an important innovation which will transform the way we have been conducting our business.
Batswana ka bontsi ba tsweletse ka go supa ka monwana dikompone dingwe tsa di-insurance tse di tsweletseng ka go ba tseela madi ba duelela ditirelo di tshwana le tsa phitlho mme ka nako e ba tshwanetseng go ntsha madi ba neela moikopedi go nne le madi a dia moikopedi a ise boikwalekwa. Mme ga dikgang wa Botswana Television Nkutile Thamage go latedisa kgang e.
Molaetsa o ke o batho ba le bantsi ba o amogelang go tswe mo dikhampaneng tsa di-insurance ba sena go duelela ditirelo tsa di-insurance jaaka tsa diphitlho. Mme le fa ba duela sentle jaana Batswana bangwe ba tsweletse ka go jewa ntsoma ka jaanong dikhamphane tse di sa diragatse ditumalano. Ba ke bangwe Batswana ba ba nang le maitemogelo a go duela dikhamphane tsa di-insurance madi ka tsholofelo ya gore motlhang ba olwang ke siro sa dintsho ba kgone go bona dithuso tsa madi a ba ntseng ba duela.
Batswana ba jewa ntsoma most of the Motswana ga se motho yo balang. Policy e na le fine print go morago go kwaleng dio tse dintsi ba nna ke tabe ke itumelela gore ke secure le malome ke secure le nkuku le nna ke le moteng then o bosa khone go bona dilo dingwe mo contracteng tse le gore di kwadilwe.
For instance jaaka ke tswa mo family of 6 yana ha re ka insure motsadi rote ba didimala ba tsaya madi motsadi ha tlhokagala hela ke gone le tautwang dikgang gore ha le ke la claim lote mme ne le ntse le ntsha madi lote.
Le kalana le le tsamaisang a bolefa di-insurance diteseletso la Non-Bank Financial Institutions Regulatory Authority NBFIRA la re le itse sentle ka dingongorego tsa Batswana ba ba reng ba jelwe ntsoma ke dikhamphane tsa insurance.
The regulator NBFIRA does receive complaints from members of the public specifically about funeral policy, funeral insurance policies. The regulator has received approximately 100 complaints pertaining to the insurance industry as a whole, but only about 10% of these were specifically about funeral insurance policies and claims thereof. The common reasons given for the complaints pertaining to this normally relate to the non-payment or underpayment of insurance premiums. Another reason, one of the underlying reasons for the complaints is where a policyholder would request to be reimbursed for the premiums that they have paid. Another common underlying reason that we come across is where a claim has been submitted to the insurer, but the waiting period has not yet lapsed.
Gone mme NBFIRA e dira eng go sireletsa setšhaba mo mekgweng e dirwang ke dikhamphane tsa insurance.
What our procedures say is that a consumer has the right to escalate a complaint matter to NBFIRA. However, this process requires that the policyholder in this instance write to the entity, the insurer, service provider, or broker, whoever it was, and write to them to inform them of their complaint. If the policyholder does not get a satisfactory response or no response at all from the insurer, then they are well entitled to now escalate the matter to NBFIRA. The complainant is in the wrong, they may have misunderstood. the terms or conditions of their contracts. In some instances, the insurer is in the wrong. But whichever way, we will make our judgment based on the criteria that I've just described. If after assessing a complaint matter, we ascertain that the insurer indeed was wrong, we have a number of tools available to us as a regulator, issuing a warning to depending on the gravity, firstly on the nature of the transgression, the gravity of it, and a number of factors. But the tools range from issuing a warning to imposing penalties to even revoking the license of the said company if need be.
Maiteko a Botswana Television go buisana di company dingwe tsa insurance a iteletse foletse ka jana gone ga romelwa dipotso tse ba neng ba di kopile mme ba se ka ba busa phetolo epe ka nako ya go gatisiwa pego o nkutlile Thamage BTV News Gaborone.
Tsala a ikanya rona mo BTV News a magala jaanong Tumampatane ka tsa metshameko.
Takolo e kgaitsa di aka motswetse dikgang tsa metshameko tsone tsare tona wa lephata la banana bong metshameko le ngwao tumiso rakgari wa goletse setlhopha se se neng se emetse lefatshe leno kwa kgaisanong tse di sa tswang go fela kwa Accra Ghana tsa Africa Games go bo ba dirile bontle bile ba tlotlomaditse lefatshe leno o bile seo jaaka na amogela setlhopha seo mo go tswa metshamekong eo a rutlwe pego ka Ryan Kgangwanyane.
Tona a re jaaka setlhopha se go kwantse di etsele di 13 tsa selefera di le 3 le tsa bronze di le 10 seo ka bosone ke sesupo sa gore ka ke monokeng le thotloetso e kwa godimo ya Botswana setlhopha se ka dira go feta go dikgaisanong tse di latelang di akaretsa tsa di olimpiki tsa monongwaga.
On behalf of the government of Botswana, the leadership of sport in Botswana, all our invaluable stakeholders, and indeed, on my own behalf, let me express our greatest delight, honor, and privilege in welcoming Team Botswana back home following a memorable performance at the 13th African Games. At this juncture, to highly commend each and every member of Team Botswana for having taken these games very seriously, for it sure reflected in Team Botswana's performance. A round of applause for our team.
Faro la tekodiso ya mosepele moeteledipele wa setlhopha sa Dikgang o phuvutile legetla batshameki ka tshameko le maduo a mantle segolo jang mo metshamekong e ba neng ba e tsenelela e le la ntlha go dikgaisanong tseo.
The games were used as preparations to qualify more teams to Paris 2024 Games and even beyond. We have achieved this through our relay teams and beach volleyball, who still stands a chance to qualify for Paris 2024. The games were indeed a good preparation to them before the last leg of their qualifying games. Beach volleyball will be going on their qualifying competitions. Therefore, this were indeed a good preparation for them at the games.
I'm proud of those that won and those that lost proudly, because we went from broken arms to one-eyed men, from knockdowns to knockouts. We've seen it all, and none of us quit. That is the most important thing. It takes a brave person to finish a match. Well, they say that a bull is seen by its scars, so.
Le fa setlhopha se se di etsele tse di potlana go tshwantsha ngwale tsa kgaisanyo e fetileng kwa Morocco, bakatisi le baeteledipele ba setlhopha ba tiile moko ebile ba solofela di aba ko Paris jaaka ba tsweletse ka go rulaganyetsa le go aga setlhopha sa motia se se tlabeng se le ba ko France ngwaga ono o le fa gare. Ryan Kgangwanyane, BTV Sport, Gaborone.
Mothusara toropo wa Gaborone o duetse tautona wa kgotse barulaganyi ba metshameko ya Africa Stars International Athletics Championships go tsenya letsogo mo go thuseng puso go godisa metshameko go tswa kwa moding. Kgomotsa Sofako ka pego.
Tautona a re go botlhokwa gore bao ba ikemetseng ka nosi ba nne le seabe mo metshamekong segolo jang mo go thatoseng batshameki ba botana gore ba ga nna le tsena tsa ka moso tsa mokie jaaka keletso e le gore lefatshe leno e nne boramelelo jwa motshameko wa mabelo.
I think this is the right direction. Tapping talent from young people is very important. I'm too emotional because this thing has been stopped for some time. And I think there was an issue between the government and the teachers. But if the decision has been taken, so you see what is happening now with sports. I mean, the entire codes, the sports codes, nowadays sports is business. This need to be made commercial. If you are grabbing them from young age, you will see a lot of talent. And I believe that Botswana, it's going to be one of the countries that we will see, and we'll make it a hub, especially when we come to athletics.
Mogadisi wa setlhopha sa setšhaba sa mabelo Justice Dipeba a re kgaisano e akaretsang bana ba dingwaga tse di kwa tlase e ba fa sebaka sa gore ba kgone go aga batshameki ba sa le ba botana le gore ba kgone go bona talente ka e le bone batabogi ba ka moso.
They will help us to identify talent. As you have maybe aware for the past 4 years, if I'm not wrong, school sports, so we were not able to touch or to have contact with kids in terms of sports. So events like this, if we get to have them, they will help us to come and identify talents. Will also help the kids. I mean, at this age, yes, we talk it's not a competition level. It's a time for them to discover themselves. It's for them to learn what to do, how to do things, and what to do in terms of their events. They will learn can I run, can I throw, can I jump, and that is the whole idea behind this event. We were able to advise them because we've got kids as young as 6 years old. As you can see now, running the 4x50 relays, they did the 60 meters yesterday. So we are trying to make sure that the events that are being done are appropriate for the ages that are here. And we had the 8 and 9 years old running 80 meters yesterday. So that is something that we make sure that they do the proper stuff.
Dikgaisano tseo tse di simolotsang ka mosupologo di tla tswelela go fita ka mathatso mme go phadisana bana ba dingwaga tse thataro go ya go tse di 20. Kgomotso Sefako, PTV Sport, Gaborone.
Botatswari di be khutlo gone fa ka jana le kana go tsotlhe Kenya rona.
The road to destiny is not paved with brick and tar, but with vision and determination that unveil over time who we truly are when we get there. The Ministry of Transport and Public Works has embarked on a journey of transformation to enhance the efficiency of transport system in the Greater Gaborone area. This journey of the Greater Gaborone Urban Transport Improvement Project is funded by the Government of Botswana, assisted by the World Bank and OPEC Fund for International Development. The ideas adopted through this transport improvement project will, for the next 25 years, transform Greater Gaborone to a mobile, compact city based on concepts of urban transport development in relation to land settlement and use. Wasting no time and without a moment to spare, the government of Botswana, through the Ministry of Transport and Public Works, initiated the construction of 3 bridges or overhead crossings